Hey guys, welcome back to Bible Fun with the Nuns. Today we're studying Job 4. Let's get started.
All right. Job chapter number 4 is a good reminder that we are glad God puts all different kinds of books in the Bible. Some of the books of the Bible are a lot of fun, like where you read David and Goliath. I mean, who doesn't like that story? Or Daniel in the lion's den. Who doesn't get excited about that? Some books of the Bible are going to be used in worship, like the book of Psalms, where those were the songs they used to sing when they went to church. Some are going to be history, like the book of Genesis, where it says, in the what, John?
The beginning.
In the beginning. And then some books are going to be like Job, where it's going to try to teach you some wisdom. There is a difference. Remember this. There is a difference between being smart and being wise. A person can have a lot up here, but if they don't know what to do with it, they're not wise. They can make 100% on a test, but if they don't know how to live in the real world and behave and put all that knowledge to use and help people, then they're not wise. So Job chapter number 4 is one of these things where we find a guy who evidently has a lot going on, but is struggling with wisdom. His name is Eliphaz. Eliphaz is a Temanite, so we struggled with how to say his name and where he's from. But here's what's also interesting. He's probably the oldest of all of Job's friends. He gets to talk first, and he really gets into it. Now, as you read through Job, I want you to just remember, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to get something out of this stuff. Here's some good questions we can ask while we're reading Job. Number one, what did I read today that was interesting? What did I read that was weird? What did I read that I didn't understand? And what do I read that maybe it sounds kind of good, but I need to study it some more? So let's start with some of that. John, what was weird in this chapter?
So I thought in verse number 12 how he saw a ghost. I thought that was pretty weird.
I agree. That's pretty weird. You don't see that every day. But in verse number 12, it says, a word was secretly brought to me, and my ear received a whisper of it. In the disquieting thoughts and the visions of the night, when deep sleep falls on me, fear came upon me and trembling. For those of you who are old enough to have read Edgar Allan Poe, it sounds like, Jim, what's the poem about the raven?
Nevermore?
Yeah, where something says the raven nevermore. I don't know.
Hark the Raven.
Hark the Raven nevermore. Something about a raven. That's all I remember. I read it a long time ago. This kind of reminds me of it. Listen what he says. He says, it made all of my bones shake, and a spirit passed before my face. The hair on my body stood up. It stood still. I could not discern its appearance. That means he saw right through it. He said, a form was before my eyes, but there was silence. Then I heard a voice saying, can a mortal man be righteous before God? What he says this ghost said to him, and by the way, we don't know if he really saw a ghost or it was just being extra dramatic. Doesn't really matter. What he's saying, though, is that he saw in this vision that he's being reminded that even the angels in heaven have to answer to God. Can I tell you what? Is he right or wrong about that?
He's wrong. Or right.
He's right. That's right. That's okay. He's right. Angels do have to answer to God. So he's right about this, but is he going to be right about everything, John?
No.
No. So you can be right about some things and get other things wrong. And if you're a little bit wrong, are you right or wrong?
You're wrong.
Well, if you're a little bit wrong, then you're still wrong. If you have a test that says that 2 plus 2 equals and you put 5, is that right or wrong?
That's wrong.
Now, was it wrong by a lot or by a little?
By a little.
By a little, but is it still wrong? Yeah, it's still wrong. All right, so that's weird, yes. But what else was interesting to you that he said?
I think verse number 7 was pretty interesting.
Okay.
Because it says, think about this now. A person who has not done wrong will not die. Honest people were never destroyed. So I think how do you put this?
Well, first of all, was he right or wrong about that? That honest people never die and those who do wrong are never cut off. Is he right about that?
He's wrong because Jesus died.
That's right. See, that's a good connection. Remember, whatever we think and whatever we feel isn't determined to be right based on how we feel or what we think. So we're supposed to take everything that we know and everything we believe and we put it not up against how we feel, we put it up against the scripture. So he says, everybody who does right lives, and everybody who's wrong dies, and everybody good never has any problems, and everybody bad gets all the punishment. Well, was Jesus good or bad?
He was good.
He was good. He was not just good, he was perfect. Well, what happened to Jesus? Did he suffer?
Yes.
Did he die?
Yeah.
Yes. So Eliphaz, he's got a belief, but when you put it up against Scripture, you find out that just because he believed it didn't mean it was true. What's also interesting is that Jesus suffered, yet he was sinless. When Eliphaz keeps talking, he can't accept the fact that sometimes in life, innocent people have troubles too. But what did Jesus tell us? Jesus said, in this world you will have, do you remember
Trouble.
this? Trouble. That's exactly right. So what we find is, and by the way, Eliphaz starts out really gentle and really nice, but he doesn't end with a whole lot of wisdom. I think he starts with the right heart, but his heart isn't in concert with truth. And that's what gets him in trouble. Friends, here's what we need to do. Sometimes we're going to be going through trouble. Sometimes we're going to sit beside somebody else who's going through trouble. We need to make sure that what we believe is not just what we feel, because sometimes our feelings can get it wrong. We need to get to the point where what we feel and what we think is put up next to what God says. And we have to put everything we think and feel against truth and to see. And if it doesn't match up truth, then either the Bible has to change, God has to change, or we have to change. Well, who needs to change?
Us.
Us. So God doesn't have to change because he's right. If God says something and I feel something or think something else, I'm the one that's got to change. Let's keep remembering that, and let's pursue wisdom in this book. See you later. Keep reading.
Bye.